Hare Krishna. So, welcome to all the devotees tonight to our Bhakti Sastri class discussion. Hare Krishna. Yes, Dandavat Pranams to everyone. Let's start with Mangalacharan to invoke auspiciousness. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapara Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabhandhu Jagatpat Hare Krishna. So I was disconnected because electricity is gone in my place. Anyhow, I'm using my hotspot at the moment. Hopefully my voice is clear and hopefully my internet will be enough. Exactly. At this moment, we just started the class and electricity just gone. Anyway, everything is planned by Krishna. Mukam karoti vachalam panglunglam khayate kirim yat kripa tamahang vande Sri Gurun Dinatharan. Yes. Maybe like this is a bit better. I don't know. Too bright, maybe. I'm using the flashlight of my camera. Whatever we can do, must do something. Okay, I think like this is more or less okay. Okay, so in our previous class, we have started at chapter 7, where we discussed three main aspects, yeah, of the previous discussion from this chapter. So, one second, electricity is coming back. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. So where we discussed three main aspects in the previous discussion. Yeah, the first one is that knowing Krishna in full by hearing about him. Yes, in fact, Lord Krishna emphasized that to Arjuna by saying Tat Shrinu. Yeah, Tat Shrinu means to hear about Krishna. And then we discuss also about how Lord Krishna is the source of para and apara prakriti. Yes, the internal energy and the external energy. Yeah, the prakriti, the material nature, the bahiranga sakti, and the jivas. So Lord Krishna is the source of these energies. And then we discuss also about the three modes of nature are controlled by the Lord, and therefore we must surrender to him. Yeah. the last verse where we stopped was the Daivi Hyasa Gunamaye Mama Maya Duratyaya. Yeah, where Krishna mentioned Mama Maya Duratyaya, that this energy, material energy, yes, consisting of the three modes of material nature, are very difficult to overcome. Yeah, unless Mam Evaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite, unless one surrender to Krishna, so there is no hope for the living entities to cross over Maya, to overcome Maya. Yeah, because if we try to fight using our own endeavor against Maya, so it's not at all possible to conquer Maya, because Maya is also Krishna's energy, and nobody can compete with Krishna. Yes. So therefore, from text 15 to 19, we will be discussing about 4 kinds of the impious persons who do not surrender to Krishna, and 4 kinds of pious persons who do. Okay. And then the demigod worshippers and impersonalists whose surrender is misplaced. Yeah. Avidipurvakam, it is mentioned in this verse. Avidipurvakam means they have intelligence, but their surrender is misplaced. Yes. Bewilderment of the living entity and knowledge of Krishna. Yeah. Okay. Verse 15 describes 4 types of unqualified persons who do not surrender to Krishna and who sometimes pose themselves as leaders simply for material gain. Verses 16 to 19 describe 4 types of persons who surrender to Krishna and how the wise man is the best because he does not desire some gain. Yeah. So here we will talk about Duskriti and Sukriti. Yeah. Text number 15. Namam Duskritino Muda Prapadyante Naradamaha Maya Yapahrita Jnana Asuram Bhavamasrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest amongst mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Okay, so these are the 4 types of the Duskriti, the impious people. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada commented, the atheistic plan makers are described herein by the word Duskritinaha, or miscreants. The atheist plan maker is sometimes very intelligent and meritorious also, because any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. But because the atheist brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Supreme Lord, the theistic plan maker is called Duskriti, which indicates that his intelligence and effort are misdirected. So interesting, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, any good things which is done by a person, it's actually need great endeavor and intelligence. But this atheistic plan maker, they will not go anywhere. Yeah, take for example like Ravana. Ravana has 10 heads. He is very intelligent. Yes, even he can change the law of karma. Those who are doing pious activities will go to hell, will be punished, and those who are doing impious things will go to heaven. And he created staircase from earth to heaven, by which actually you don't have to do pious activities to go to heaven. You can just climb up to the heaven. You see, such a great thinker. Yes, he has 10 heads. In fact, actually, Ravana studied almost all the Vedic mantras. It is described like that, using his 10 heads. His brain is so sharp. You know, in one of the ceremony, so Lord Indra was performing a yagya, and then he thought like this, oh, Ravana, our brother. Yeah, because the demigods and the Rakshasas, they are actually brothers. Yeah, both are the son of Kashyapa. Yes. So Indra was thinking, oh, our brother Ravana, he's chanting the Vedic mantra so beautifully and so melodiously. Why don't we invite him to become the Udgata? Udgata means the person who is chanting the mantra when there is yagya performance. And then Lord Brahma told Indra, no, 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 never do this. It's dangerous. And Indra said, no, we can give a try. And then he invited Ravana. Ravana came. So Agnidev, upon hearing Ravana's chanting, so he said to his wife, oh, my dear wife, why don't you appear in this yagya performance and then you bless Ravana? He's chanting the mantra so nicely. And Swaha, the wife of Agni, so just appear from the fire of the sacrifice. And then as soon as she appeared, what happened? Ravana stopped chanting the mantra and then kidnapped her and ran away. So because she was so beautiful, Swaha is so beautiful. So Ravana became enchanted by her beauty and kidnapped her and ran away. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, like, there are so many atheist plan makers. Yeah. They are doing so many big things in the world, but still, as far as that things, whatever it is, great uh, according to materialistic
Hare Krishna
estimation,
Prabhu, there is some problem with your audio. I don't know if
but
I am the only one facing it.
when it is not
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes
connected to
Prabhuji,
the
audio is not clear.
service of the
Voice is
Lord,
breaking, Prabhu.
that becomes Shama Eva Kevalam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, audio is not clear Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna. What about
Suddenly
now?
your voice, now it's clear Prabhuji.
Yeah, because some issues with the internet since few days. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, what about now? Is it
Yes
clear
Prabhuji,
enough?
clear. Loud and clear Prabhuji.
Okay. I'm sorry for this interruption. So there are 4 types of Duskritina. Yeah. The Muda. The first one is mentioned here. The Muda. Prapadyante Naradama. Naradama means lowest among men. We will see this one by one. 1 second. How many of you are familiar with this verse? There are 2 slokas about Duskritina and Sukritina. Yeah, it's very important slokas from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, the Mudas, first one, okay, amongst the Duskritina. The Mudas are those who are grossly foolish, like hard-working beasts of burden. Prabhupada mentioned, most often, those who work very hard day and night to clear the burden of self-created duties say that they have no time to hear of the immortality of the living beings. To such mudas, material gains, which are destructible, are lives. All in all, despite the fact that the mudas enjoy only a very small fraction of the fruit of labor. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned here self-created duties. Oftentimes when we, let's say, like go out for Sankirtan, distributing books, people just give the answer, I don't have time to read. Yes. Yeah. They are so busy. They don't have time to read, but they spend on their cell phone hours and hours every day. Yeah, this is the fact of modern society. Yeah, they have no interest to hear about Krishna Katha. Mm. So self-created duties. Yeah, people are so busy working so hard. Mm. But then how many chapatis in a day one can eat? Yes, that's the question. Mm. Atyahara prayasascha. We will study this in the nectar of instruction. Yeah, Rupa Goswami mentioned atyahara, meaning overeating or over collecting. Prayasa means over endeavor, which is for something that not really necessary in our life. Yes. So people are working, like actually nobody likes to work, is it? Therefore, when they get like one day off, Sunday, yeah, one day off for them, that's like a big vacation. And then they will arrange the whole thing to go for vacation. And then the next day again, they have to work. Nobody likes to work, isn't it? But then still they have to work because there are so many so-called self-created duties. Yeah. Because of the mentality of over-collecting. Yeah. Over-collecting will lead to over-endeavor. Yes. So that's the principles. Just like a donkey. You know, Srila Prabhupada used to, he gives like this example many times in his lectures, you know, just like donkey. Grass are, you know, everywhere, available everywhere. But the donkey still has to work for his master, carrying like heavy burden, heavy load. You know? Have you seen how the uh, washerman loading up the clothes on the back of the donkey? And then using a stick, you know, he will hang a carrot. Yeah, he will hang a carrot in the front of the donkey's face. So this donkey will chase this carrot and it's move. Sometimes the donkey doesn't want to move. So in order to get this carrot, so this donkey move with a heavy burden. So that's the life of the Grihamedis. Yeah. The life of the materialistic people, the non-devotees. Yeah. So working so hard just to enjoy a little bit. Yeah. Actually, grass is available everywhere, but still, donkey is a donkey. Yes. So this is the first one, mudha, grossly foolish. Rapadyante naradamaha. Another class of duskriti or miscreant is called the naradhama, or the lowest of mankind. Yes, those who are socially and politically developed but who have no religious principles, but must be considered naradamas. The civilized form of human life is meant for man's reviving the lost consciousness of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is all-powerful. Whoever loses this chance is classified as a Naradhama. Yeah. So Nara Adhama, Adhama means low, Andha. So low class of men, although they seems to be very educated, yeah, but if they don't understand about God, the connection, the linking process, then they are considered to be the Naradamas, yeah, lowest among mankind. Because what is the purpose of getting the human form of life? To perfect the human form of life by devotional service to Krishna. Yes. Vrideham Adyam Sulabam Sudurlabam. Sulabam Sudurlabam. Vrideham Adyam. This human form of life is Sulabam. Very easily to be obtained. But at the same time, Sudurlabam. It is very difficult. Very easy. Why? Because you just need to wait for 8,400,000 species of life. Any jiva will get the human form of life. Easy, right? You just need to wait. Only 8,400,000. Yes. But Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means difficult to obtain. Why? Because you have to wait for 8,400,000 species of life. Then only you get the human form of life. Yeah, plavam sukalpam. Plavam means we cross over. Yeah, sukalpam. Plavam sukalpam. This human form of life is compared just like a boat by which we can cross over the material existence. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, in one of his purport in the 5th canto, in the 5th chapter, text number 2. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada in that verse, Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahor Vimuktis. Yeah, you can read the first line of Srila Prabhupada's purport. He mentioned that the human form of life is just like a junction. Yeah, you go to a road and there will be junction. One junction to Vaikuntha, one junction to the hell. So this is human form of life, just like a junction. Yes. So whether we can go back to Godhead or not, it's all depend on our own effort. Yes. So sulabam sudurlabam. It is very easy to obtain, but very, very rare. Yes. But if we don't use this opportunity, then we are considered to be naradama. Yeah. The next one is the Mayaya Pahrita Jnana. The next class of Duskriti is called Mayaya Pahrita Jnana, or those persons whose erudite knowledge has been nullified by the influence of illusory material energy. They are mostly very learned fellows, great philosophers, poets, literati, scientists, etc. But the illusory energy misguides them, and therefore they disobey the Supreme Lord. All the unauthorized interpretation of the Gita by the class of Maya Pahrita Jnana outside the purview of the Parampara system are so many stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual understanding. Yes. So Hrita Jnana means one's knowledge is deprived by Maya. Maya ya Pahrita Jnana. Srila Prabhupada clearly mentioned here, just like those Bhagavad Gitas, which are commented by the Mayavadis, for example. Let's take like Swami Vivekananda. Yes. Many people think that he is very learned, right? He got so much followers. Even at one point of time, my own father was being enchanted by his teaching, Swami Vivekananda. Yeah. Even in Indonesia also, he got so many followers. Amazing, isn't it? But he's an atheist. But he seems to be like very, very smart. This is called Maya Pahrita Jnana. His knowledge has been stolen, being illusioned by Maya. Although he's appeared to be very poetic, very intelligent, but as long as that knowledge is not connected to Krishna consciousness, then it is of no use. Let's take like, for example, one of his quote, why you are worshipping Tulasi? He said like this. Yeah. Instead of worshipping Tulasi, better you worship eggplant, because eggplant will give you fruit. Then you can eat this begun. It's so tasty. What Tulasi will give you? That was his statement. Yeah. So this is called Maya Pahrita Jnana. And then another quote that he say that why we need to study the Bhagavad Gita? That will give you diabetes. You will not move. You will not move. You just sit. Better you go outside and play football. That's one of his famous quotes, isn't it? Are you aware of all those things? Sometimes, you just need to use your, what do you say? Sastra Chaksu. I mean, like, of course, Rupa Goswami said that, Rajalpo Niyamagraha. Reading whatever not connected to Krishna consciousness is considered also to be prajalpa, not just simply talking about something which is beyond Krishna consciousness topic, but reading also. But if you read something and then you use your sastra chaksu means you somehow rather connect everything to Krishna. So sometimes it's okay to read these kind of things just to make comparison. Just to make comparison how silly he is. Yes, we are not following his teaching, but for preaching purpose, we have to know something. We have to know something about other practices also. Then we can convince of our own practice, isn't it? Yes, that is true. Yeah, you can read some, even like from the Bible also, from the Quran also, you can read, but just to convince you more about our own philosophy. There is one verse from the Quran in the Surah Al-Baqarah. I forgot exactly which number is that, but it is mentioned that actually the Muslim not supposed to eat cow. Really, that's very powerful quote. That used to be one of my favorite. Yeah, what they are allowed to eat is goat actually, not cows. Yes, but then it's just misinterpreted. Yeah, another uh, example also from the Bible. It is described that Jesus liked to drink grape juice, not the wine. Jesus likes to drink grape juice, not wine. Yeah, but people take advantage and just, using their own interpretation. And they drink wine. Yeah, I have seen some of the priests in the church, before giving the lecture. Yes, so that is one ritual that they do. They call it this. They pour wine on a glass, on a cup, and then they consider this to be the blood of Jesus, and then they drink, and then they start giving lecture. Yeah, so you can observe all these things just in order to convince you about your own practice in Krishna consciousness. Yeah, yeah. This is called the Mayaya Apahrita Jnana. Prabhupada gave the example like the scientist, the poet, the poet. Like the Mayavadis, they love to twist the meanings of the Vedanta. Yes, of the Vedanta Sutra. They like to twist the meaning. Yes, so they give some interpretation just to enchant it, those who are also in the same category of Mayaya Pahrita Jnana. Yeah. They can be also some political leaders who are great in giving some speech. Yes. And then the last one is, it is called Asuram Bhavam Asritaha, or those of demonic principles. Yeah. Envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the atheist will present a number of illicit incarnation manufactured in the factory of his brain. Therefore, 1, grossly foolish persons, 2, the lowest of mankind, 3, deluded speculators, and number 4, the professed atheists, as above mentioned, never surrender unto the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, in spite of all scriptural and authoritative advice. Okay. Srila Prabhupada lecture on this point. So we have to face them. Our Krishna consciousness movement is facing these rascals, these Duskritina, these Naradamas, and to request them to become Krishna conscious. This is Krishna consciousness movement. One who is facing dangerous position for others' benefit, they're very quickly recognized by Krishna. So let us dedicate this life for preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. Never mind, we die by preaching, still it will be glorious. Yeah. So we are actually surrounded by all these types of people, these 4 types of people. Okay. What are the 4 types of Duskritina? Without looking at the notes, without looking at the books, anybody can tell me? We just discuss it. Gita Mrita Mataji.
Mudas,
Mm-hmm.
Naradama,
Mm-hmm.
Mayaya Apagartha Jnana, and Ashuram.
Asura Bhava.
Ashuram Bhavam.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we have to always remember this. This may come up in your exam. What are the 4 types of Duskritina? And anybody would like to give an answer? What are the 4 types of Sukritina? The next verse, without looking at the book. Chaturvidha bhajantemam. Jana Sukritinarjuna Artho Jigyasur Artharthi Gyanicha Bharatarsava. Yeah. Artho Jigyasu Arthati. Artha means one who is suffering. Artho Jigyasu, one who is inquisitive. Artharthi, one who desire wealth. And then Gyani. Gyani means one who just inquiring about the absolute truth. Yeah, searcher, spiritual searcher. Yes. So, okay, up to this point, were there any questions about the Duskritina before we enter about the Sukritina? As Srila Prabhupada mentioned, we have to face them. We have to preach Krishna consciousness. Even if we die, that death will be glorious also. Srila Prabhupada himself giving his own life example. Yeah. Okay, I think this point is clear. Yeah, let's move ahead. Now about the Sukritina. I just quoted the verse. Here is the translation. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Purport. When these 4 kinds of persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified by the association of a pure devotee, they also become pure devotees. As far as miscreants are concerned, for them devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with a pure devotee, also become pure devotees. Okay, so please note that these 4 types of Sukritinaha, those who are pious, they are not at all pure devotees. Okay, they are just beginner. They are just beginner. These are not pure devotees. But what Srila Prabhupada explained, when they constantly associating themselves with the pure devotees of the Lord, they themselves will become pure also. Artaha, meaning suffering. Who is the best example of the person who suffer and approach Krishna, surrender to Krishna? Anybody would like to guess? Gita Mrita Mataji?
Gajendra.
Gajendra, yes. Gajendra, Artha. And then Artha, Jigyasuhu. Jigyasuhu means inquisitive. Who is the example given?
Brahmaji.
Brahmaji, okay. Good try, good effort. Any other answer?
Shaunaka Rishi.
Yes, Saunaka Rishi, thank you. The sages of Naimisaranya, yeah, headed by Saunaka Muni. Artho Jigyasu Artharthi. This is very famous. One who desire wealth. Who is the example?
Dhruv Maharaj.
Dhruv Maharaj.
Yes, Mangala Mahalakshmi Mataji, Dhruva Maharaj. Yes. Please raise your hand next time for answering. Dhruva, yes. And then the Gyani. Who is the example of the Gyani?
Shukadev
Gita.
Goswami.
Almost. Is almost. Another thought? The Chatur Kumara. Yeah. Yes. Here, all this. Yeah. In Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yes. Okay, so each example is given. Here, Gajendra, the sages in Naimisaranya, Dhruva, and Chatur Kumara. Okay. And text number 17, of this, one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. Okay. But out of them, he who is in knowledge of the absolute truth and free from all material desires becomes a really pure devotee of the Lord. By searching after knowledge, one realizes that his self is different from his material body. And when further advanced, he comes to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. When one is fully purified, he realizes that his constitutional position is to be the eternal servant of God. So by association with pure devotees, the inquisitive, the distressed, the seeker after material amelioration, and the man in knowledge all become themselves pure. But in the preparatory stage, the man who is in full knowledge of the Supreme Lord and is at the same time executing devotional service is very dear to the Lord. Okay, so all these four types of people, when they associate with pure devotees, so they become pure. Yeah, like Dhruva Maharaj, for example. Sthana bilasi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra goyam. So Dhruva said that sthana bilasi, in the beginning, I want this sthana, high position. Yeah, sthana means position. Sthana bilasi tapasi stitoham. Therefore, I'm performing these great austerities. Tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam. For you, O Lord, you are very difficult to be obtained by the devatas, the Indras, the king of the devatas, the Muni, the sages. Not easy to obtain Lord Krishna. Yeah. But now Dhruva becomes pure by the association of Narada Muni, his guru. Yeah. So all of us have some hope. Although now we're still having so much material desire, just keep associating with the devotees. Yeah, one day we will become pure. But of course, amongst those four, who's the best? The Gyanis. Why? Any reason? Okay, Artha Jigyasur, Artha Gyani. Amongst these four, the Gyani is considered to be the best. Why?
They seek knowledge.
They seek knowledge. Okay, what about the Jigyasu? They also seek knowledge. They are inquisitive. Ramesh Prabhu.
They want to understand the Supreme.
Okay, they want to understand the Supreme. What about the Jigyasu? Why they are asking questions? I mean, it's good answer. Yes, Gita Amrita Mataji, Ramesh Prabhu, it's good answer. Rati Manjari Mataji.
Prabhuji, I think that the Gyanis are the best because they have realized the truth and are also engaged in the devotional service. That's like, I mean, they know about the Supreme Lord. They have understood, and so they are in complete surrender.
Mm.
Is it? I don't know if that's a sir.
No. Please, like Whenever you give some contribution, never feel like, oh, it's wrong or like this, No, your contribution will be always appreciated, really. Yeah, thank you so much. That's actually a very good answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's hear once again from Gitamrita Mataji. Yeah.
Knowledge about Lord Krishna.
Knowledge about Lord Krishna. Yes, that's Jnani. Yes, very good answer. Thank you so much. So, if we analyze each of the example given by Srila Prabhupada, the Jnanis, why they are considered to be the best? Because they have no more material desire.
Okay.
The Jigyasuhu, the sages of Naimisharanya, what they are doing in Naimisharanya, they are performing the karma kanda.
Oh.
Yes, you see the description in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, most of these sages in Naimisharanya, in the beginning, they are karma kandis. Yes, they are karma kandis. Okay, and then Gajendra, why? Because he's suffering, obviously, that he wants to be relieved from his material suffering. So there is some selfish motivation. And then Dhruva also, obviously, Dhruva, obviously, he has great material desire. Yes, but the Jnani, the example is Chatur Kumara. They have no more material desires. That's why Krishna says that amongst these four, the Jnanis are the best. Yeah, because they are fully engaged in devotional service and have no material desires. Okay. So when Brahma created the Chatur Kumara, so Brahma asked his sons, my dear sons, please continue the generation. They said, no, we are not interested. And then Brahma cursed them. Okay, you remain like this. And they are happy, okay, no problem. Yes, so that's the reason, because they have no material desire. Just like this, you have friend, okay? You have friend, different friends you have, of course. So one friend just, stick with you because of friendship. They just like you unconditionally. Some other friends will stick with you when they need of something, Oh, Prabhu, paisa nahi hai. Please, can I borrow? For example, like this. Some friends are doing like that. And then when they have nothing that they want from us, they don't want to stick together with us. Some friends are like that. So we have so many friends, but which friend is dear to us? That friend which always there. Whether we are happy or distressed, he will be there. He will not ask anything from us, just friendship. So Krishna also like that, Amongst those four, who are the most dear? The Gyanis, because they have no material desire. Yeah. So, as easy as that. Yeah. Text 18. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. You see, even the Artha-Arthi, those who have great material desire also, they are considered to be magnanimous souls. Yes, Krishna here admitted. Yeah. But he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Atmamayaya, Krishna mentioned here. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect knowledge. It is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge are not dear to the Lord. The devotees who want some benefit out of devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit. And when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. But the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Okay. So Krishna mentioned here that even you have material desire, still you are considered to be magnanimous. Why? Because still you are surrendering to Krishna. You're not surrendering to the demigods. Yeah, we will talk in this chapter about demigod worship. Avidipurvakam means his surrender is misplaced. Akama sarvakama va moksakama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So whether one has no material desire, akama, sarvakama, whether one has a lot of material desire, moksakama, whether one has desire to be liberated. So just worship Krishna. Tivrena bhakti, perform great devotional service. Just like a son, a son wants something from his father. What the son will do now? Make the father happy first. Then he can ask something. Then the father will grant. Otherwise, if simply asking without pleasing the father may refuse to give. Yeah, this is natural. Therefore, Krishna mentioned here, all these souls are magnanimous, although they are not pure devotees compared to the non-devotees. They are very magnanimous because they surrender themselves to Krishna up to some extent. Might not be 100% at the moment, but they surrender to Krishna. Yes, although they have material desire, please keep note. Yes, Sakama devotees are also great soul. The Sakama means full of material desire. They still consider to be great soul because somehow or other they approach Krishna. Yes, they offer something to Krishna, although they are asking something in return. Yes, so still they are great, magnanimous, not kripana. Yeah. And then text 19. Bahunam janmanam ante gyanavanmam prapadyante Vasudeva sarvam iti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. In the beginning of spiritual realization, while one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning toward impersonalism. But when one is further advanced, he can understand that there are activities in spiritual life and that these activities constitute devotional service. Okay, this quote, the next one is from Surrender Unto Me. Bhakti is rare even among Gyanis. Samahatma Sudurlabha. And its development usually takes a long time. Bahunam janmanamante. Association with pure devotees quickens the process. Because by association, one hears and chants about Krishna, the subject of the first part of this chapter, whose glories are the essence of transcendental knowledge. One thus understands that Vasudeva, Krishna, is everything. Yes, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So this verse is talking about the Jnani or the impersonalist. What kind of impersonalist? The sincere impersonalist. Bahunam janmanam ante. They will become devotee eventually if they are sincere. But how long? Bahunam. Many, many lifetimes. But there is one secret, how to make it quicker, by the association of devotees. Because in the association of devotees, one get the chance of Shravanam and Kirtanam. The first verse of this chapter mentioning Tatchrinu. Hear about Krishna. That's how we get knowledge about Krishna, through hearing. Yes. So after many lifetimes, finally they will understand that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna is the cause of all causes. Yes. This is for the impersonalists. Yeah. Because as Srila Prabhupada mentioned, even amongst the Gyanis also, very rare we can find devotees. Yeah. Gyani means one who understand that he is not the body. That's the basic understanding about Jnani. He understand and he realized that he's not the body. Okay, these are called Jnanis. But sometimes they like to speculate. That's how they get astray. Okay, this is a lecture from Srila Prabhupada. Now, this research work about the signs of God has to be prosecuted for several births after birth. Bahunam janmanam ante. After many births, God realization, it is very easy, but at the same time, it is very difficult. Easy for them who accept it as truth, and those who are trying to understand by dint of his knowledge, advancement of knowledge, he has to create his faith after he finishes his research work. Then that takes many, many births. Bahunam janmanam ante. Okay. Devotional service is easy. At the same time, it is not easy. Easy for those who are acceptance. Some people, they just accept. When you tell them Krishna is God, oh yes, Krishna is God. Follow four regulative principles. Yes, follow four regulative principles. Yeah. But some people, they will argue, why Krishna is God? Give me evidence. And then they will do some research. So that research may take millions of lifetimes before they're really convinced that Krishna is God. Yes. Some people argue, why you can eat peanut on Ekadasi? Some devotees argue, why you can eat peanut on Ekadasi? Well, Prabhupada eat peanuts. Peanut is not considered to be grain, it's considered to be root. Yeah, so we can eat peanuts, right? But the peanut looks like grain. So for those who are simple-minded devotees, okay, Prabhupada allow us to eat peanuts, then eat peanuts. If you have doubt, do it without. Don't eat peanut, eat some fruits, easy, right? Rather than you try, start some research, oh, peanut belong to the category of grains, blah, 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 and so on. That will take millions of lifetimes to convince you that, yes, whether you can eat peanut or not. The best thing you can do on Ekadasi, of course, just fast. If you don't want to be bothered, just fast. If you cannot fast, just drink water, drink milk. If you cannot eat fruits, simple, and fruits are very healthy. How many days in a month we can get the chance just to eat fruit? Not many. And it's much healthier, rather than every day we eat like, oh my goodness, cooked food, so much oil, so much chili, this masala, that masala. Oh, Krishna, just take a break. Give the body break. Eat fruits, very healthy. Yeah. Even in Indonesia also, like those who are really fanatic, they don't eat tomatoes on Ekadasi because there are so many seeds and these seeds look like grains. They don't eat watermelon also because it contains so much seeds. It looks like grain. So what to do? Okay. So it's all depend on us. Krishna consciousness practice, easy for those who are simple. Okay, Prabhupada has given us the standard, just follow it. If you want more strict standard, you read the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Read Hari Bhakti Vilas, you will give up Krishna consciousness. Even Srila Rupa Goswami said that because Hari Bhakti Vilas is written by Sanatana Goswami, his elder brother. Yeah, Rupa Goswami explained that unless one is not careful enough to study the Hari Bhakti Vilas, he may commit so many offenses and eventually will give up the devotional practice. Because you will start criticizing Because you know so much, up to minute details, you start criticizing. There is a description in Hari Bhakti Vilas that you cannot offer incense to the deity without offering flowers. So one day I criticized one devotee. Prabhu, why you are offering only incense? You have to offer also flowers. Yes, this is the rules in Hari Bhakti Vilas. So you start criticizing devotees. Yeah. So one should be very careful. Yes. Simple for the simple, difficult for those who are complicated. That's Krishna consciousness. Yes. If you just come to associate with the devotees to relish Krishna Katha, you will stay in the association of devotees for many years. But I know there are some devotees, they come regularly to attend Bhagavatam class, but he likes to really, I mean, I will not name the person, of course. He liked to find slight fault, in the class and just point that and make it a big point. And just to, drag down these devotees who gives the class. I know some devotees like that in Mayapur. Yes, anyway, Hare Krishna. So, any questions about Duskritinaha and Sukritinaha before we move to the next point of our discussion? All right, no question, means clear. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada said, question is the science of intelligence. I'm not saying that you are not intelligent. That means you are clear with the point. Yes. You are intelligent enough, so everything is clear. There is no need to ask something. Next, here we go. Demigods worshippers and impersonalists whose surrender is misplaced. Yes, verses 20 to 23 describes less intelligent persons who worship demigods for material gain. We will see what will be the result of the demigod worship, how long it will last. Yeah. Verses 24 to 25 describe the impersonalists who surrender to the formless aspect of Krishna. They cannot see Krishna, who covers himself from their vision. Okay, this is about demigod worship. Anybody would like to read this verse? Anyone? Just unmute yourself.
Krishna Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Kamaistaistair hutadjnanaha prabhadhyantyenyadevataha tam tam nivam astaya prakritaya niyatasvaya. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. As long as the material contamination is not completely washed out, they are by nature non-devotees. But even those who have material desires and who resort to the Supreme Lord are not so much attracted by external nature because of approaching the right goal. They soon become free from all material lust. A pure devotee never goes to demigods for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on the Supreme Lord, and a pure devotee is satisfied with whatever he gives.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ramesh Prabhu. So here the word Hrita Jnana, yeah, I highlighted here. Hrita Jnana means one's knowledge is stolen. Yeah, Hrita Jnana, deprived. One's knowledge is deprived. Sometimes we lost our intelligence because of over fluctuated material desires. Yeah. Therefore, the verse mentioned Kama is style Hrita Jnana. When one's heart is filled up with Kama, yeah, Hrita Jnana, one's intelligence is lost. And then what happened? They surrender to the demigod. Prapadyante Nya devataha prapadyante means surrender. Why they surrender to the demigods? Because demigod will be very easily to be pleased and giving the boon very quickly. That's the reason. Yes. Antavatu palam tesam. But the result of the demigod worship is antavatu palam. The result is temporary. Very temporary and limited. Alpamedasaha. Very limited. Yes, temporary and very limited. Okay. Text 21. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So here, very interesting. Why Krishna would allow someone, if someone wants to worship the demigod, Krishna says that I'm the super soul. So I make his faith steady to worship that particular demigod. Why? Why not just directing to him? We may ask questions. Some may ask why the all-powerful God gives facilities to the living entities for enjoying this material world, and so lets them fall into the trap of the illusory energy. The answer is that if the Supreme Lord, as the Super Soul, does not give such facilities, then there is no meaning to independence. Therefore, he gives everyone full independence, whatever one likes. But his ultimate instruction we find in the Bhagavad Gita: one should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto him. That will make man happy. Yes, sarva dharman parityaja. The very reason is that independency, love. Yes. So Krishna has given us minute independency. If someone wants to worship some particular demigods, Krishna makes his faith firm to worship that particular demigod. Because after all, we will see the description that after all, all these demigods being part and parcel of the Lord's body. Yeah. So actually, indirectly, they are worshipping Krishna, but avidi purvakam. They just don't understand that actually Krishna is the supreme. They are thinking that the demigod is the supreme God, meaning that they are the highest. But in one hand, we have to clearly understand that actually they have the understanding, they have the sense that there must be some higher authority by which actually we must surrender to him. So they have this concept that they just don't want to enjoy themselves. They want to worship someone higher. Okay. So in this way, actually, their spiritual journey start, but very slow. Yeah, the karma kandis, very slow. Yeah. Archit Agrawal Prabhu, or this is Shivani Mataji, who is here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, two questions. So one is related to, is it true that we can say that since Krishna says that all other demigods fall under, these three gunas, so they also carry some different composition of guna. So somebody who worship, say, some demigod, some form of demigod, he would slowly be getting, that combination of, personality. Just like if somebody is worshipping Murugan or Kartikeya, who's the lord of war, and people were saying that if you worship them, then you will also become some aggressive. You will acquire that aggressiveness. Is it true?
Okay, number one. So you on the street, it seems to be. A working man. Yes. So, yes, that's true. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti majajino bhimam. Yeah, whoever you worship, that will be your destination. And naturally, your nature will be molded by the person whom you meditate upon. Yes. So that's true. Your nature, your character will be inbuilt according to the deities that you worship. Yes. And yes, some particular demigods are in charge or being influenced more in one particular of the gunas, then naturally you will also imbibe that quality. Yeah, the simple example that Srila Prabhupada gives, just like iron touched by the fire, just like that. Yes. Number 2. Okay, it seems he's still on the way. Prabhu is still on the road, so that's okay. Yes. Yes, so this is about independency. Yeah. Text 22. Endowed with such faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtain his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Yes, ultimately, Krishna sanctioned it. Yes, Archit Prabhu, question number 2. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I was asking this example from my family. Say my mother came to, my family, and then when I was not there, uh, and my grandmother asked her to do worship of some demigods, and then she was obliged to do that, and she started doing it. Once a year, she forget doing that, and then there was repercussions in our health for me and my brother. So then she has a firm belief that if I'll stop doing this worship, then this something bad will happen because she has seen from her own eyes. So in that case, how to stop this worship? How to ask her, convince her to stop this worship and come to Krishna consciousness?
Okay. You can mute yourself. Okay. So this is about family tradition. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to stop what is already being your family tradition for many generations. Yeah. And same thing like Bhupalaka Prabhu has asked in few classes before. Yes, it's same scenario. What I would suggest is that let this demigod worship continue at the moment. You respect the culture. Yes, you respect the culture. But after all, these demigods are part of Lord Krishna's managerial body, I would say. So let them worship this demigod, and at the same time, you can also worship this demigod, but in the different mood. You worship this demigod as the body of the Lord. Yeah, like today I was doing a Griha Pravesa. So we are worshiping Vastu. Who is Vastu? Vastu is Rakshasa. Why we are worshiping Vastu? Why we are worshiping Rakshasa? Because he is great devotee of Lord Ananta. We are inviting Vastu. Okay, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava, so when we do Vastu Puja, so we invite Vastu, we invite the snakes, we invite the Nagas, to reside in our house to protect us. Raksa Sa. Saha means he. Raksa means one who protect. So Raksasa means one who protect his territory. So we invite Vastu to reside in our house to protect our house, to protect the residents. But I know in Sri Sampradaya, those who have background, South India of Sri Sampradaya, so the Brahmanas will dress in black, and then they will make Vastu Purusha deity made of kusa grass. After the puja is done, after the yagya is finished, they will set up fire on this Vastu Purusha. They will drag the Vastu Purusha out the house and beat him. Now, what is the purpose? Because Vastu is the leader of all these bhutas and pretas and ghosts. So when all other ghosts will see, oh, their leader is being beaten up, they will not enter this house and disturb the residents of the house. But in our Gaudiya tradition, as it is taught by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as well as Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, we invite Vastu, this Rakshasa, to reside in our house because he is a great devotee of Lord Ananta. So we worship Vastu as a great devotee. So similarly, these demigods, that your family members have been worshipping for many generations, I would say that you can also take part in that worship, but in a different mood. Rather, you pray to that particular demigod, please bless my mother, bless my family. May they become devotee like your good self. That's how we pray, Of course, in one place, Srila Prabhupada said one should not take demigod prasada, right? But if we offer first to Krishna and then offer it to the demigods, that becomes Maha. That kind of prasadam we can take. Yeah, we take the blessings of the demigods, putting the demigod, position the demigod as great devotee of the Lord. Yeah, so I don't think so. I would say it is unnecessary just to blaspheme and try to stop the tradition. Rather, you respect and then you pray. And then you through your association, give prasadam to your family members, knowingly or unknowingly, by hook or crook. They will become devotee. And then when they become devotee, Devarsi Bhutab Tandrinam Pitrinam Na Kinkaro Nayam Rini Charajan. See, some people, they incline to hear, and some people are very stubborn. So you have to see this also. If your family members, like, they are quite respectful, inquisitive, they like to hear some philosophy, they like to compare, you can give some evidence from the scriptures. Like we have this verse from the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Devarsi Bhutab Tandrinam Pitrinam. Na kinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmanaya saranam saranyam gato mukundam parihrityakata. Those who are worshipping Lord Krishna, they're no longer indebted by the devas. Deva, rishis, the rishis, Bhuta. We don't have to do Bhuta Yagya separately. Pitri, the forefather. Yes, because we worship the supreme authority, Lord Krishna. But for those who are stubborn, then especially they are your family members, better not to argue too hard, otherwise there will be some friction. And regarding the health issues that you might be facing because of this demigod worship being stopped, I would say it could be and it could not be also. Yes, maybe you eat something wrong and that day you get sick. We don't know, right? But of course, it might have some effect, I would say, because it is your tradition for many generations. It can affect you also. So in this way, I would say just continue the tradition and then you pray to that particular demigods. Yes. But if your mother inclined to hear some philosophy, that's why we are having this Bhakti Sastri course for all of you. Yes, Archit Prabhu. I hope that answer your query.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. purport, text number 22. So ultimately, Krishna is the one who gives all the boons. Yes. The demigods cannot award benedictions to their devotees without the permission of the Supreme Lord. The living entity may forget that everything is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the demigods do not forget. So the worship of the demigods and the achievement of desired result are due not to the demigods, but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by arrangement. Okay? From surrender unto me, the fruits that demigods offer their worshippers are ultimately awarded by Krishna. Even the faith that the demigods worshippers possess is given by Krishna and not by the demigods. Although all is ultimately given by Krishna, still, because demigod worshippers have not directly approached Krishna, they cannot be liberated. Okay. Yeah. You may argue that, okay, these demigod worshippers, ultimately they are worshipping Krishna indirectly. Is that true? Yes, that's true. But we cannot put them in the category of the Vaisnavas or Vaishnavis because they are not surrendering to Krishna directly. I mean, directly, of course, we surrender to Krishna through Guru Parampara. Directly mean admitting and worshipping Krishna, like how we do. But if they worship the demigods, they just don't know. Or some people, especially in India, they consider Krishna to be one of the demigods, right? So they are putting Lord Vishnu, this is the second offense, yeah, thinking that Lord Vishnu or Krishna on the same level with any other demigods. Yeah, so in this way, we cannot put them in the category of Vaishnavas. Yes, although they worship Krishna indirectly. And Krishna himself is the one who gives the boon to all these demigod worshippers. Yes. Here is the result of demigod worship. Antavatu palam tesam tadbhavyati alpamedasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Antavatu palam means limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods. Yes, Devan Deva Yajoyanti. This will be confirmed also in the 9th chapter. But my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Here, the point may be raised that if the demigods are different parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, then the same end should be achieved by worshipping them. However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they don't know to what part of the body food must be supplied. Yes. Okay. Avyaktam Vyaktimapanam. Now we are talking about the impersonalists. Okay. Up to text number 23. Yeah. Krishna is explaining about the demigod worshippers. Now we move ahead to the impersonalists. Avyaktam Vyaktimapanam Manyanti Mama Buddhayaha. Param Bhavamajananto Mama Vyayamanutamam. Abuddhayaha. This word is very clear here. Krishna mentioned here Abuddhayaha. Buddha means one who is full in knowledge. Abuddha means one who doesn't have knowledge. Okay. Unintelligent men, basically. Abuddhayaha means unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly, think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. Yes. Avyaktam Vyakti Mahapanam. This is the way of how the impersonal is thinking. Avyaktam Vyaktim. First, Krishna is Avyaktam, without personality, and then now he's Vyaktim, having personality. But at the end, Krishna will give up his body and he will become Avyaktam again. So the same position, the same thing happening to me. That's how they think. I'm God, but now I get this body. I'm being illusioned by Maya. After I give up this body, I'll become God again. Okay, that is their philosophy. Why? Param Bhavam Ajananto, because they don't know Krishna's superior nature. Param Bhavam. Ajanata means they don't know. Okay. Abudaya means less intelligent persons. Yeah. Those who are worshippers of demigods had been described as less intelligent person. Yes. Hritagyana, the demigods are Hritagyana, and the Mayavadis are, the impersonalists are Abudaya, same category of people. And here the impersonalists are similarly described. Lord Krishna, in his personal form, is here speaking before Arjuna, and still, due to ignorance, impersonalists argue that the Supreme Lord ultimately has no form. We cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be impersonal. The imposition theory of the impersonalist monists is false as far as the statement of the Gita are concerned. It is clear herein that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Krishna, has both form and personality. Okay? We don't know, right, how this impersonal is giving the commentaries of the Bhagavad Gita. It is clear here. Krishna is speaking like this. Avyaktam vyaktimapanam manyantimam abuddhayaha. Clearly, Krishna mentioned abuddhayaha. They are less intelligent. But still, they twist the meaning of the Gita, giving some impersonal direction of conclusion, impersonal siddhanta. Yes. Maya Bhasha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned, Maya Bhasha Sunilo Hoy Sarvanas. Yes. If one hear the commentary of the Bhagavad Gita by the impersonalist, Hoy Sarvanas, all his bhakti will be destroyed. What does it mean? His bhakti will be checked. Yeah. Because bhakti is eternal. We have discussed this point. Bhakti is eternal, but you will not get any advancement. It will be checked. Text number 25. Here, Krishna covered himself by his internal potency, Yoga Maya. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha mudhoyam na vijanati lopomam ajam aya. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and inexhaustible. Yeah. It may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually, he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only few people who could understand him to the Supreme Personality, to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? So up to this point, Krishna has described the demigod worshippers and the impersonalist position. How's their position? Kritagyana and Abudayaha. Both are in the same category, less intelligent. Yeah, because they misplace their surrender. Yeah, they misplace their surrender. So regarding the last verse that we just now read, that Dham Prakasa Sarvasya, Krishna mentioned that I don't manifest to everybody. What does it mean, manifest? Prakas. Manifest means when one understands Krishna. Duryodhana saw Krishna, right? Sakuni saw Krishna. But they don't see Krishna. Yeah. Deha patya kalatra disu atma sanye swasat swapi tesam pramatu nidanam pashyan api na pashyati. Too much attached to the material body. Deha patya kalatra disu atma sanye swasat swapi tesam pramatu nidanam. Pramata, they become mad. They become bewildered. Pashyan api na pasyati. Although they see, actually they don't see. Pashyan api, they see. Na pasyati, they don't see. Yeah. Just like Sakuni. Do you think Sakuni that he doesn't know that Vasudeva Krishna is the personality of Godhead. He knows perfectly. Krishna is God. But he doesn't surrender to Krishna. The evidence is that when Duryodhana chose his Lord Krishna's army, the entire army was chosen by Duryodhana. Not actually. Arjuna chose first, of course. Arjuna chose only Krishna without weapon. And Duryodhana was so happy. He came back. He told his uncle that this foolish Arjuna has chose only Krishna without army. And Sakuni blasted him like anything. You're fools. You should choose Krishna. You don't know who is Krishna, huh? He told Duryodhana, you don't know who is Krishna. But uncle, we got all his army with all this elephant, all these horses, all the weapons. But Sakuni said, you fool, you will be destroyed. So this is Pashyanapi na Pashyati. They see, but actually they don't see. Seeing means understanding Krishna Tattva. Understanding Krishna Tattva means understanding our Sambandha Tattva. Yes, many people, especially in India, Yes, I know Krishna is God. Yeah, Krishna is God. Krishna is Bhagavan. But do they surrender to Krishna? That's the question. Yes. All right. So up to this point, Krishna has described about the demigod worshippers and the result of the demigod worshippers, Antavatu Palam, temporary and limited. Yes. And ultimately, of course, Krishna is the one who granted it. Okay. So we have 2 minutes. I just want to continue a little bit more to finish up this chapter. Okay. 5 slokas more about the bewilderment of the living entity and knowledge of Krishna. Okay. So we bewildered due to the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, and knowledge of Krishna will give us liberation. Okay. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani chabhutani mam tu vedana kashana. Krishna says, I know past, present, and future, but mam tu vedana kashana. No one knows. O Arjun, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Yes. Icha dvesa samutena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani samoham sarge yanti parantapa. O sons of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion. Yeah, mohena, bewildered by dualities, dvandva, arisen from icha and dvesa, desire and hate. Sarge yanti, yanti means we are being destined. Okay, we are coming to the material world because of these 2 main reasons, icha and dvesa. Icha means desire, dvesa means hate. What desire? What icha? Material desire. What is the meaning of material desire? Desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's it. You can enjoy, why not? That is the very purpose of our existence. Yes. You can enjoy, why not? But you should enjoy along with Krishna. Yes, be happy with Krishna. Don't try to be happy alone. Yeah, icha means material desire. Dvesa means envy. What kind of envy? Oh, why he is God, I also want to become God. This is the first envy that we have. That's why Sarge Janti Parantapa, we are sent to the material world. Yes. Okay. 28. Yesam twantagatam papam. Jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajanti mam dridavrata. Yes. Dridavrata means full determination. how we can worship Krishna with full determination. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, yes, punya karmanam, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, yeah, antagatam papam, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Okay. So antagatam papam means we are free from sins. And punya karmanam, we derive or we collected enough pious activities from the previous lives. Therefore, we become devotee. Yeah. Unless one is pious, it is impossible to become devotee. But one time Srila Prabhupada was asked by his disciples, so Prabhupada, we become devotees, is that because we have acted piously in our previous lives? Srila Prabhupada said, no, you become devotee because of my mercy. Clearly, Srila Prabhupada said that you become devotee because of my mercy. So there are two types of perfection, as I again and again mentioned. One is sadhana siddhi, one is kripa siddhi. Sadhana siddhi will take a long time. You need to collect so much punya. And kripa siddhi just instant. Mrigari, what he becomes by the mercy of Narada Muni, he become great devotee. Yeah. Ratnakar, what he becomes? He became Valmiki Muni. And what happened? He possessed the Trikalagya also. Actually, Valmiki Muni wrote the Ramayana before Ramayana happening. Amazing, isn't it? By the mercy of Narad Muni. Yes. So, devotees, mercy. Therefore, many times we hear the phrase causeless mercy. What does it mean, causeless mercy? Causeless mercy means there is no cause. Just the devotees want you become devotee. And then you become devotee. Krishna heard his pure devotee. You become devotee. This is causeless mercy. Yes. Of course, in one place, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that all of you are sent by my Guru Maharaj to assist my mission. Yes, Srila Prabhupada mentioned this to his disciples. All of you are sent by my Guru Maharaj to assist my mission. Yes. So they are thinking, oh, we are great souls. Yeah, but it's all Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Okay. 29, intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. What does it mean here? They are actually Brahman. And Krishna mentioned they are actually Brahman means they are Brahman realized. Okay, they know that themselves, the spirit soul, and they know the source, where they're coming from. Okay. The last one. Sadi bhuta didayavamam sadi yagyam chaye viduhu prayana kalipi chamam te vidur yukta chetasam. So there are three things mentioned in this verse. Adibhuta, Adidaivam, and Adiyagyam. So when one gets this knowledge, he is completely liberated. Yes. Those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principles of the material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods, and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can, with steadfast mind, understand and know me even at the time of death. Okay, so Adibhuta. Adibhuta means the master of all living entity. Yeah, Adidaivam, the master of all demigods. And then Adiyagya means he is the one who is the benefactor of all the sacrifices. Okay, if we understand this, that Krishna is our master, he is the Adibhuta, he is the Adidaiva, he is the master even for the demigods, and he is the Adiyagya. He's the one who enjoys the result of the sacrifice. Yeah, all the sacrifices meant to please Krishna. He's the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yagyata Vasam, same verse, the last sloka of chapter 5. Okay, and if we know this at the time of death, we will remember Krishna, because knowing means we engage in his service. Yeah. Let's read Srila Prabhupada's purport. This 7th chapter particularly explains how one can become a fully Krishna conscious person. The beginning of Krishna consciousness is association of persons who are Krishna conscious. By gradual development of Krishna consciousness in good association, the living entity can understand that due to forgetfulness of Krishna, he has become conditioned by the law of material nature. He can also understand that this human form of life is an opportunity to regain Krishna consciousness, and that it should be fully utilized to attain the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, Srila Prabhupada. One who understands the signs of Krishna consciousness, sa adibhutam adidaivam, so even at the time of his death, he remains steady in that Krishna consciousness. And therefore, his next birth is not in this material world, but in the spiritual world. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So just to conclude this chapter, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his purport on the last verse, that actually this 7th chapter helped us to become fully Krishna conscious. The first thing that Krishna instructed to us in this chapter is that Tachrinu, to hear about him. And then we have to understand Krishna is the source of both para and apara prakriti. Yes, bhumi rapo nalo vayu kamanu buddhire vacha. Everything comes from Krishna. Yes, will be emphasized more in the later chapter, in chapter 10, yeah, where Krishna mentioned in the Chatusloki Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavam Mata Sarvam Pravartate. Okay. And then we have discussed the aspect of demigod worships versus the devotees or impersonalists. What are their position? How we are bewildered by the 3 modes of material nature. Krishna is the controller of the 3 modes of material nature. We have to surrender to him. Yeah. And knowledge about him means knowing that he's the Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagya. And even at the time of death, we will remain steady. Just like, let's take the example of His Holiness Kadambakanana Swami. You know, how he was like very, very sick, but he has this full conviction that even his guru, Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, told him, Maharaj, you don't have to chant your japa anymore. Maharaj said, oh, I took a vow to chant my 16 rounds. So I must chant my 16 rounds. Yeah, he is already laying on the bed, you know, because he well prepared. He is well prepared for going back home, back to Godhead. It was his desire, actually. Yeah, just like Srila Prabhupada at one time, he said that my eternal house is Vrindavan. So he traveled all over the world, and then when he about to leave his body, he knew it. He comes to Vrindavan. So even in his passport, Kadambakanana Maharaj's passport, it is mentioned that the place of birth, Vrindavan. Yes, he mentioned it, Vrindavan. Yes, he was the temple president for many years in Krishna Balaram Mandir doing this project. He got shot. You know this story, right? How Maharaj got shot by some gangster. Yes, so he almost died. That much his sacrifice for the Krishna Balaram Mandir. And Krishna granted. You know, he lived the body in Vrindavan in such a glorious moment, surrounded by many great devotees. Yeah, that's happened when you are firm, having faith on Krishna that he is your master. So even at the time of death, you remain steady in Krishna consciousness. Because as Srimad Bhagavatam explained, at the time of death, one will feel just like being stung by 1 million of scorpions. And the heat is like million times that we experience, like how we get normal fever, like 40 degree, that's times into million, that much heat we get at the time of death. Yeah. But for devotee, you don't feel the pain. Okay. So this is the secret, knowing Krishna in full. Okay. So were there any questions of anything, chapter 7? Otherwise, we can stop here for now. And then our next class will be, I will review again from chapter 1 to 6. Yeah. And I'm hoping also Navadipa Sachimataji will be present, like the last 15 minutes of the session. So take this opportunity to get his association, his Sangha. Yeah. And you can ask question to her, what is expected for the exam. Of course, I will explain also this point. Yes. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada.